Welcome to Al Stocks. In this video, we're going to be breaking down the physical infrastructure built and how that might relate to your short-term and long-term portfolio in the stock market. Now, this one-on-one format, I got a lot of positive feedback in my last recent upload, and I honestly enjoyed it as well. I'm still going to be doing the data-driven analysis regarding DCFs and all the data-intensive stuff to make really data-specific decisions on how to interact with the stock market. But I just wanted to give you some overall news of the physical infrastructure built and how that might affect the stocks that others might be interested in. So first things first, this is a $1.2 trillion package, the physical infrastructure that was passed. We had two. We have the social and physical. The physical was bipartisan and the social was not, and it was more geared to the Democratic administration, and it was going to be passed through budget reconciliation. I talk about that in my past video. So in this one, it's 1.2 trillion. If you calculate all the things that I'm going to be telling you about, it only adds up to $474 billion. The other $725 billion, we really do not know how the government's going to spend that. They haven't given us that information. First things first, I'm going to start off with the $110 billion for roads, bridges, and major infrastructure projects. President Biden has coined that this is a once in a generational lifetime of an opportunity to spend on infrastructure in the United States. Maybe my YouTube community can comment down any stocks that deal with construction. The one that I could think of is Caterpillar. We always see them when they're building buildings. I was looking at their financials. It seems to be a little bit overvalued, but they are growing at a revenue rate of 25% year over year. And if you adjust that, I think it's hovering around an intrinsic value of 168 to 200. I'll do a specific video about it. Caterpillar could get some market share into this because a lot of companies that want to rebuild infrastructure, you best believe that government and state budgets are going to be allocating money to buy more Caterpillar machines, right? We have $11 billion for transportation safety, $39 billion to modernize public transit, $66 billion in passenger and freight rails, $65 billion in investment in improving the nation's broadband access, so internet, $17 billion in port infrastructure, and $25 billion in airports. Now, $7.5 billion for zero and low emission buses and ferries, aiming to deliver thousands of electric school buses. Now, I'm going to pause right here. This is very important. So you may have heard of a woman called Jennifer Gollum. She was the former governor of Michigan, and now she is the Secretary of Energy under the Biden administration. She was also an executive board member that essentially had $1 to $5 million in stocks. I was looking into her about 6 months ago when this company went public, I believe through an SPAC. The stock skyrocketed to 300% as people realized that she was part of the administration until falling back down, just like what all SPACs do. She has approximately $1 to $5 million at the time through stock options. Because she was part of the administration, especially under the Secretary of Energy, it's very clear and to say that this could be an ethical concern, especially when the Biden administration wants to invest in especially named Proterra as one of administration's contracts they want to build out to. Because of this, Jennifer Gollum sold $1.6 million worth of stock options and resigns from the board. Regardless to say, this signals to me that just to avoid any ethics concerns, I believe that people in power should not be making money off of the voters' backs, off of the American people's backs, right? However, because she sold, it doesn't matter. Even after the administration, let's just say Biden administration chooses them to be part of the $7.5 billion investing in low emission buses and ferries, it's going to send the stock sky high. Now check this out. What makes us think Jennifer Gollum is not going to reintegrate back into the board after she finishes the Biden administration? What makes us think that the CEO and the board won't give her a hefty, large sum of stock options because of her experience as the Secretary of Energy? So this is more a PR move. Yes, it divests her away from getting attacked by the ethics committee. However, we should look at this stock and it should be on our radar. Proterra. Another $7.5 billion would go to building a nationwide network of plug-in electric vehicle charging stations. Now, we know that this current administration does not like Elon Musk. It's very clear. They had an EV summit and they came in and they invited GM and Ford, thanking them for the EV charging movement, when in reality, Tesla was doing this back in 2011, even earlier. So it's very clear that maybe Tesla might not be part of this. And with the whole Elon Musk Twitter thing, and we'll have a separate video about that. The three stocks I want to to point your attention to is ChargePoint, Blink Charging, and EVgo. Now, EVgo is more those fast charging networks. Think of them as kind of like mini superchargers, and I think they're going to be in direct competition with Tesla. They all are, but more specifically with the supercharging networks. So I don't think EVgo is the right move here. Blink Charging is okay, but I think the biggest one is ChargePoint. They're more established, they have more charging stations, and I believe if the government is going to pick one out of these three, I think it might be ChargePoint. We'll take a look at this stock, and I assume that on Monday, especially in the pre-market, it's going to go up. It's very clear. $65 billion will be used to rebuild the electric grid, which aims at directly tackling the infrastructure of failed electric grid systems as we engage electric vehicles to swarm our streets. $55 billion to upgrade the water infrastructure. Last but not least, Democrats stated that this bill will pay for itself without raising any taxes. However, after an independent analysis by the Congressional Budget Office, they have found that this adds $256 billion to the deficit over the next 10 years. So I don't know how you feel about that, but I just wanted to report to you this news and give you a holistic approach, not watering it down, and give it to you straight up, which is what Americans are asking for right now. So if you like this video, please consider subscribing, liking, and hitting all those notification bells to get this video out there. Now, a little bit about my commentary here. So the past election that last week we witnessed, Virginia voted red. They went to a Republican governor. Furthermore, New Jersey was close to electing a Republican governor. So this is a wake-up call for the Democratic Party, the Biden administration, to honestly go ahead and start moving forward, which is why Nancy Pelosi had no choice. She honestly surprised the progressives when she put the months-old bipartisan bill that was voted on a long time ago for voting, and it passed. So this is honestly a great win for the Biden administration. I look forward to more Democrats pushing forward and moving forward because of the 2022 elections. Imagine if we didn't have these elections, what other things would they might have done to stall and play political chess on the backs of the American people. This is why it's important to vote. So I want to know your opinion. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. I want to have this one-on-one feedback, and I really want to get to know my YouTube community. Please let me know what you think, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Until next time.